We had 3 practices. My husband's a sole, they owned all 3, and the time was right just to make a sale because we wanted to focus on the bigger practice. So 2 practices came as one package, so to speak, and it was just an opportune time when we received a call and we agreed to meet, and it just went on from there. As far as IDH were concerned, we knew that it was a big corporate company. They had a lot of backup, which was important because we did speak to some smaller companies who came to speak to us. I found them not really as well informed about the process. They didn't really give me a lot of confidence. We met Steve, and when he came in to meet us that evening, I really liked him. He was very honest, very straightforward. And we'd already agreed between ourselves what we wanted for the practice. He came, did his bit of due diligence, and the deal was done, really. I think the relationship started from that initial meeting. They treated us with respect. They were fair in their assessment of the practice. We knew ourselves that there was some work to be done, so we weren't overly precious about that. But it was just the way, in comparison to the other 2 that came, they looked around. They didn't go, oh, we need to change that, we need to change this, blah, blah, blah. They just said, yep, we can see this. And we already knew what needed to be done. So, it was that relationship. The relationship you have is important to start with. When we had the initial conversation with Steve, we said one of our primary concerns was our staff, because a lot of them had been with us for quite a few years. You hear various different stories about the transition and how the staff feel, and the complications that are involved in TP transfers, etc. I felt that IDH handled it really, really well. They had a transition team who came in and spoke to all the staff individually and as a group, and then we came into that meeting as well. So that was quite nice, and I know they're all still there, so that can't be a bad thing. It's a year next week since we sold, so they're still there. They've got the much needed staff room that they wanted. There's been some refurb work gone on, which has taken a while to happen, but that's only because these things do take time. But we've not heard any major complaints from the staff about the transfer. If anybody else was thinking about selling their practice, at least you know what you're getting when you work with IDH, because they are a very well structured organisation from what I can see, whereas the smaller organisations, their motivation may be slightly different. So I think work with a company that's got some good structures in place. And the reason why we went with IDH was because they seem to have a much more efficient acquisition process. So we were really happy with that. And if we were going to sell the other practice, I might even talk to them again.